Hi, my name's Mike, and I try things. And today I'm gonna try and restore an exterior metal door. Water damage, rust. So the previous owners of my house, they had their sprinkler just shooting the house, shooting the door. Water, metal, oxidation, rust, no good. Let's take a look at the door. So here's the door. And as you can see, there's extensive rust damage. This is loose, this is floppy. I'm going to try some Bondo in here. Definitely rust here. Oh, it's squishy. Honestly, I could probably just use a new door, but new doors are expensive. So I'm going to try and fix this one up first. You know, down the road I'm going to have to get a new door anyway. But we gotta see about doing this track too. Alright, next I'm gonna hit the door with the orbital sander. I'm gonna start with an 80 grit and take it from there. And there's a little bit of a problem. One piece of the metal chipped off here. It's gonna require some fine Bondo work, huh? It should be fun. I'm gonna have to clamp this down too. This is coming off. So I guess I'll clean it first. And then I gotta find some adhesive and clamp it down. So here we go. We got the Loctite Extend Rust Neutralizer. Converts light rust to a paintable surface. I don't know if this is really light rust, but we'll have to see what happens. Alright, so gotta wear gloves. You always gotta read the fine print. You gotta wear gloves. 2 coats, 20 minutes between coats. And we're gonna clean up with some mineral spirits. Alright. So, yeah. Here we go. And you can see we have our odorless mineral spirits by Jasco. Professional strength. Alright, let's shake it up a little bit. And then we are going to spray down the rust with the neutralizer. Now, remember, it's not positive, it's not negative, it's neutral. Hopefully this makes it paintable. Let's see if we can watch it turn black. Get a good angle. I guess that does look pretty dark, huh? I'm gonna shake it up a little more. And hit it again. We can see here, I don't know if you can see with the shadows, those rust spots. I guess I should have done a close-up first, huh? Shows what I know about filmmaking. But yeah, this is all rusty down here. It's definitely turned black. Alright. Okay, now it's time to, I'm going to wipe down the whole door, clean it out, the whole thing up a little bit. I'm just going to pour a little bit of this on. And then we wipe. So we're going to do the whole door here. Put a little bit of odorless mineral. That was a lot. Oh well, here we go. We're going to use it all. I'm just going to give this a nice surface to prime. Another small thing I just noticed, I'm going to have to re-caulk the outside of this trim by the glass. Definitely don't need any water or moisture or bugs getting behind there. Glad I caught that, huh? Looks like I got it. Window, door, and trim sealant, white, waterproof. Love it. And just like this is, it's hot out today. And just like this is My first home repair do-it-yourself video. This is my first time working with mineral spirits, my first time working with Bondo. Bondo, what a name for a product. Bondo. Sounds like a Star Wars character, Bondo. Here we go, we got the Bondo. So we're gonna have to touch up this little area. And there's a little holes right in there, if you could see that. Other than that, I guess a little bit at the bottom here, yeah, it's a little pitted. Alright. So what I learned in another video was that you gotta mix up the Bondo on a hard flat surface that is not porous. Here's the Bondo. Got a styrofoam plate. So I guess I need my little scooper. So today's music in the background, which you probably can't hear, I could hear it, is the Getaway 2014 Red Hot Chili Peppers and Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, No More Shall We Part. Jamming out. Deep cuts today, you know, deep cuts. Also, you can't forget to knead the hardener. Alright, so once I put the hardener in, I only got a few minutes. So, here we go. This is definitely much more challenging trying to video while doing this, but that's the kind of jerk I am. You don't need a lot. So let's just put that scoop down. Yeah, a little more. Why not? Scoop it up. Okay. And we gotta get the hardener. Alright. A little bit. Guess that's good. Alright, now I'm gonna have to scoop this around a little bit. I gotta use two hands, sorry guys. Alright, here we go. And try and shape it a little bit. Try and put some over these holes. This is just like spackle, but for hard surfaces. When I'm done, I'm gonna have to sand it again, of course. Let's get a little more. Gotta work it into those pits. I mean, I don't think you have to go this hard with the repair. It's only an exterior garage door that we only use so, you know, like take out the garbage, but I mean, it's not going to be perfect. I mean, if this was like an accent piece of furniture or something in the kitchen, that'd be different. Oop, this is already getting hard. Oh no. Alright, that's going to sand off, hopefully. Oh man, this stuff dried real quick. Well, it's gonna be better than what it was, right? Alright. Alright, so that's got to take 30 to 45 minutes to harden, completely cure. So now we are going to take a look at that bottom strip and maybe take a trip to our local home improvement store. So again, I don't know if they sell this individually. I hope so. If not, I got to figure something else out here. I am not sponsored by Home Depot. Yeah. So I got these two choices here. We got the slide-on vinyl kind and the Stanley type snap-in kind. Looks like I have the Stanley type, but depends if we have the notch or not. Either way, we got to make it work. This one is shot. But first, I'm kind of excited to see what happens when we sand this down. That's what I'm going to try first. good news, most of it sanded well. The bad news, another chunk of this came off. Not good. It's going to give me a little bit of an opportunity. I'm going to get some of the rust stuff inside and under a little bit too, alright? We'll try that. Alright, so let's think. The thing has popped up a little bit, so maybe we should glue it down first before we add another layer of Bondo. So let's see what we have for that. JB Weld, 2-part epoxy. Got the hardener and the steel. If that doesn't stick, I don't know what will. 1 Q-tips to mix it and get it in there. The other one's for my earwax. My great friend Josh recommended me these little clamps. He hasn't steered me wrong yet. Alright, so while that dries, let's see if we could pull off this old tack here, this old bottom strip. Looks like it's not going to come out too hard. It's got the 2 channels like the dude at the store said. Just got to make it fit, you know? Might need some more glue in there too. Alright, so next little bit of trickery. This is a 36-inch strip, 32-inch door. I'm going to have to get a little creative with the saw. Maybe a razor. See how it goes. So we're just taking a little bit off the end with the saw. I'm going to sand this down a little bit so I can give the caulk something a little more substantial to grip onto, you know? Well, here's my mate end. It works. Alright, I'm going to goop this right in. See how it goes. Alright, little bubbles in the top on. Let's try it. 2 things to note. Number 1, make sure the bouncy rubbery circle part goes to the exterior of the house, and it wasn't going in the channel, so I just took my Mr. Mallet and just made sure it goes in the track. If it's not in the track, it might not stop the water, might get stuck, and you're back to square 1, which we don't want to go back to. At least go back to square 2, you know? So unfortunately, the epoxy did not stick. So I'm just going to Bondo the heck out of this area, including the sides, the top, and hopefully it works a little better. And I guess the good news, it let me go on this side too, so I can get this gap as well. And just Bondo, 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 and see how it goes. Yep. Also on today's playlist is on the album Sleepy Sun by Maui. Just kind of like a psychedelic, mellow, modern day Pink Floyd. I guess it's still rocking, you know, Pink Floyd. Alright, I Bondoed the crap out of it. Let's go take a look at how ugly it is. And there she blows. I mean, at this point it's going to be what it is. And I'm just trying to extend the life of the door for a few more years before I have to replace a whole new one. But yeah, just gotta manage everybody's expectations. It's a good life hack. And while we wait for that to cure and harden, let's go take a look at the weather stripping by the door. And let me tell you, it's humid today. Heat advisory. As you can see by the old one, it was getting some rust and water damage, and this is what we got to work with here. So I'm gonna have to touch this up a little bit. Definitely need to prime it, waterproof it, prep this. So I got about a half hour, 45 minutes before the Bondo hardens. So that means I got some time to work on this, but overall I only have about an hour left before the rains come. We're getting a big thunderstorm today. So I gotta make sure that's taken care of, you know? I think what we're gonna do first is sand this down, and before we sand this down, we're gonna have to tap in some nails, right? Here we go. Let's see what else we got. I don't know what that circle is. Oh, we got some nails right here. Oh man. I need to chew up my sander. Let's try the other side. I'm gonna have to take this piece out to get that strip in. Mess here. I'm gonna have to re-caulk the bottom of this too, you know? A lot to clean up. Let's see what kind of gook we can get out of here. Yuck. Alright. Add some caulk to that tract there. Maybe some on this side too. Guessing I gotta hammer this weather stripping in. So yeah, I think it's time to caulk. Like I said before, you might as well get around the door too. The window. Wow, it's hot. I'm not gonna stand there yet. Just the rain. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I will. I'll cover it. I'll just cover the whole area with the sheet. A plastic sheet, of course, right? So what's a paper sheet or a cloth you're gonna do, right? Nothing. So, I got this plastic wood. Got a few spots I'm gonna touch up, right? Maybe this guy right here. Maybe right around the nails, you know? There's a spot. Here's a big dinger. I could throw some stuff around, and down here might help too. Never mind, this stuff is hard as a rock. Garbage. I found more stuff, but it's also as hard as a rock and not usable. Awesome. Maybe I'll just make some more Bondo, right? Might as well. I should probably hit these screws in a little bit. I should add a little more caulk right around here. The other side too. So as you can see, water's been getting in, and that's not good. So we gotta not do that, you know? Don't know if you could see it, but there's gross hand sweat from the gloves. Yuck. Alright, I think it's finally time to sand the Bondo again. This about wraps it up for day one. This is what we call a ghetto fix. I mean, it's gonna look nice once it's all painted. Well, nicer, let's be clear here. So yeah, I gotta prime it. I got the Rust-Oleum rusted metal paint primer thing. And then after the door is primed, then I gotta paint it. Gotta paint the trim out around the outside door too. Gonna hit that with the nice primer too. But yeah, everything should clean up with paint. But right now it is a work of art. Remember, artist's subjective beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So yeah, I'm gonna throw this door up tonight and put a plastic sheet over the door so this is not exposed to the possible elements. So let me go take care of that now. About 5:15, sun is still up, it's still hot. We have a thunderstorm watch, but the weather doesn't say any rain. So, but you know how that goes. All right, let's wrap it up for the day, right? And to do that, we need to put the hinges on. And here's my taped door. Hopefully that lasts a day or two. Moon's out. See it? There it is. Hi, moon. So here I am, a few days later. Weather was really humid, rainy, thundery, so I couldn't paint. You know, you can't paint when it's too humid, but it's gorgeous out today. Low humidity, 80, San Diego weather. I got the primer, I got the brush, I got the paint, I got the door. We're going. Here we are, painting time. The stuff dries in about an hour. I'll flip over the door, do some trim. It'll be good. Alright, let's talk about a few things. So the brush we got, just basic economy brush, 2 inches. I might go for something a little smaller on the window trim. Let's talk about the window trim. Painting around this is going to be annoying. There's been lots of like bug splatter. You can kind of see over the years, bug guts and whatever, I don't know, eggs. That might bleed through, I hope it doesn't. The amount of time spent trying to clean that versus the final result I don't think is worth that time investment. So I'm still going to prime it, of course, but you know, we'll see how it turns out in the end. Another thing, as you can see, I took the door off the wall. You know, it took me what, 1 minute 60 seconds to pop it off and, you know, bring it over. I had the table set up already from sanding, but it's a lot easier to paint, you know, flat than vertical. And you know, it's just easier, less stretching, less crouching, more comfortable. The primer I ended up using, let's talk about primer. I went with the Zinsser 123 Bullseye for all surfaces. Water-based, interior and exterior. On the fine print it does say that it blocks rust, which is, you know, the ultimate goal here. I did buy the Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer, but that looked like trash. It was brown. Like, what kind of primer is brown? Like, maybe the color of the primer was rusty metal, but the fine print said this is the best thing you could do for priming rusty metal. So I don't know. I brought it back. I didn't want to spend the 10-15 bucks on brown primer. Come on. Come on. But anyway, I got to, I did all around, I don't know if you could see the drying lines. I did all around that. I still got to do the window part. Then I got to let it sit for about an hour, flip it over, and while it's, you know, during that hour where I'm waiting or so, I'm going to hit the trim. Alright, hit the trim, hit the trim. Last note, I kind of make an when I'm not using a brush, I make an airtight little sandwich baggie around the brush for when I'm not using it. It keeps the paint wet, you know? You don't want dry paint, so then you got a dry brush. Ah! Another thing I just learned. I should have done the inside part of the window before I did any of the door, because then I could lean against the edges if I need to, but now I gotta stretch like a Goomba. As always, there's another hiccup. When I took the tape that was holding the tarp in front of the door off, it left tape residue all over the trim. It's kind of, you know, it's been a while anyway, so I just sanded it. Got out the sander again. One last look at the trim. Got some Bondo. Gotta cover up. There we go. I did a big seal all along the bottom. Gotta stop the water. Stop the water, you know? First coat of primer is done already. Looking a lot better. Let's look at the trouble spots. Trouble spot 1. It's not flat. You're not going to flatten that metal. It's not like you could sand that. Oh, we got somebody over there ruining my video. And this other little spot, if you look close, there is a little bit of a rust spot that I must have missed or something. So I went and got more primer. I got a shellac base primer. So this is a lot thicker. And I'm just going to dab over that one little section. Now, how long does this have to dry? Dries to the touch in about 15 minutes. Can be recoated in 45. Okay. So, mix this up. Study it up, little darling. Alright. And just for this little project, I got a chip brush. A little jobber here. Alright, let's shellac it up. And there you can see the light coat of shellac. Hopefully it does its job. Touched up a few other spots that might have a little bit of water, a bit of a water stain. So remember, the real answer is hire professional, buy new. But you know, sneeze! Wow, holy moly! yeah, the real answer is just get a new door, brand new stuff, have a professional contractor do it. But Mike's got to try it, you got to try. Now I got to brainstorm. I think when I flip this over to do the other side, the more rusty side, I'm going to shellac it first, and while that's going, then I'm gonna maybe start doing the top coat around the outside trim before I prime this. I don't know. I don't know, maybe I'll mow the lawn or something. I gotta figure out my day. I guess I'd rather get all the priming done first, then all the other painting. It makes more sense, I guess. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. All right, so we're about to flip the door, see how the bad side looks. What's that orange stuff? There's the original Mike. Looks like I have to do a light coat of shellac first. Right, so while the shellac is drying on the bottom of the door, I'm going to start with the windowsill parts as recommended by myself before. Door is primed. Definitely looks a lot better. Obviously, primer is always splotchy, especially when it's drying. But even though the door is nowhere near 100%, I think it's gonna be a 100% improvement. Do the math. Right, priming is done. So what's that mean? It's time to start the first official white top coat. We're gonna use the Sherwin-Williams Emerald line of urethane paint. Let's see if we can find it. There she is, 60 or 70 bucks a gallon, my lord. But urethane trim enamel is in 2 coats, recommended by the people at Sherwin-Williams. Steered it up, little darling, steered it up. And this is what we look like after the first coat of Sherwin-Williams Emerald Urethane High Hide Glossy White Paint. Is it perfect? No. Is it good? Yeah, I think so. So I was talking to my good friend Jim, and we decided that we're not going to do the second coat tonight. It's getting darker. There's going to be bugs. It's actually getting a little bit more humid. So we might as well let it have a really nice long dry time before we do the second and final coat. And we'll finish up this door tomorrow. We got to do the back door next. Same kind of problem. Previous owners had a dog. Dog scratched to get in. It rusted where he scratched. This was caused by the previous owner having their sprinkler head just shoot the house whenever the sprinklers went off. Awesome, good times. Well, at least I'm learning a skill and sharing it with all of you. See you tomorrow. Actually, I lied. I got to do the other coat on the other side of the door. So after I hang it up, I'll do that. Nighttime painting. Gonna get the second coat on the trim and the first coat on the back of the door. Alright, let's take a look. And second coat is done. You see the sheen, you see the drying imperfections, but you know what? I think it'll be good. Once it's dry in another 2.5 hours, I'll throw the door back up, put the knobs back on. I'll take a nice picture for y'all. So this is day 4 of the project, maybe? I don't know, lost count. We're gonna do our final coats today, that's it. Wrap it up, Windex the glass, call it a project. So here is the door off the hinges. We gotta do one more coat on here, one more coat on the outside trim, then we're done. And then we gotta start the back door. I'm not gonna film that one though. But anyway, let's get painting. I mean, if I had the Bondo out, I probably should have filled in some of these dents. I didn't really notice them before, but so it goes. It's an exterior door. If this was in my kitchen or something, you know, then I'd either get a new door or just fix this one up. But I don't know, it's probably not worth the time investment. I think we were talking about that before. Right, so door's hung, doorknobs are back on, Windex to glass. Everything should be looking pretty good. Let's go take a look at the final product. Well, it's a door. No more rust. Wonder how long it's gonna last. Hopefully I won't have to make a follow-up video for a few years. But you live, you learn. It's nice being able to say you did a project by yourself. You know, the do-it-yourself ethic is strong. It's rewarding. You got to take a little bit of pride in your work. Would a professional done this better? Of course, 100%. Did I do a good enough job? I think so. I think I did good. Let me know in the comments. Alright, thanks everybody. I hope you found this video at least entertaining, if not a little educational. Goodbye.